After you've watched Jim Collins's concept of level 5 leadership, you've heard about from Donna Hicks about leading with dignity, you've heard Simon Sinek speak about the power of why. I just wanted to connect with you briefly and rearrange some of these different perspectives on leadership within the frame that I call the humanistic perspective. Now, before we do that, I just want to go back to the more traditional perspective, the economistic perspective on leadership, that typically would not care about any of the things that we're talking about now, that Sinek is talking about, meaning purpose. There is no other purpose in the economistic context other than power, money, wealth, status. That's it. That is what we're pursuing in this narrative, in that storyline. The need for this purpose that Sinek is pointing to speaks to the poverty of that intellectual model and that frame. And that's why I think this model that we call humanistic is richer and better and more accurate, because the drive to comprehend allows for this conversation about purpose. When Collins talks about the power of a level 5 leader, the ones that are professionally willed and that are humble, what is he talking about? He may be talking about people that are intrinsically motivated to grow, to do better, to pursue a higher purpose in the way that Sinek is describing. Think about it. How humble can you be if you're pursuing domination, wealth, status? The point in pursuing wealth, status, and recognition is exactly the opposite. Is exactly the opposite of being humble. In fact, it is the absence of humility that represents the success in this economistic narrative. So I would suggest that Collins is also pointing to the most effective leaders as those that are pursuing a willingness, that are pursuing a higher purpose, a willingness to learn that makes them humble because they understand that the problems and the challenges are so vast, so big, they can only solve a couple of them. They maybe can do this better and better, but there's always something to learn. So in this context, I think this matches with the humanistic perspective that we're proposing here as well. Leading with Dignity by Donna Hicks in some way matches this as well, in a way that she basically uses the term dignity the way that we have used it before, showcasing that yes, in the large conflicts that we're facing, in the large challenges that we're facing, when we don't treat people with dignity, we're creating more problems. We're not going to be effective leaders. We're creating more conflict. So being aware of these various aspects and having an understanding of how they all fit together, I think is very critical. And this is why I just want to get your attention back to these two narratives that we're presenting in this course, the economistic one, the dominant one, and the emergent one, the humanistic one, that is also argued for by Collins, by Hicks, and by Sinek.